So I was going through the whole process showing how to add the wire tied skirt to a jig and forgot that I didn't have my mic on, so I'm going to redo the video. So stay tuned, watch the whole video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more. This is how you add the stainless steel wire to a jig. This is going to be a football head jig that we painted up, poured up, and painted up in the previous videos. So this is the football head, 3/8 ounce right here with the green pumpkin, green stardust. So I'm going to move the camera over here and show you this process again, but actually talking through it. All right. So even though this is going to be a stainless steel wire tied jig, since I'm only using the one color, it's easier just to start off with the band. I know a lot of people don't like the rubber bands because they deteriorate and get all cracked and then they fall off. So you're going to want to put at least one of them on there using that cone, slip it on there, and then you use this hook to pull the tabs through. I'll typically use 3 tabs. So this is a green pumpkin and it has little black specks in there. I like the color. It works really well, looks nice. So you take your 3 tabs. Okay. No, thought I had 4 of them there. So I'm going to take my 3 tabs, put them on my hook there, roll it, and then slide it up through the tube. And then what I do is I'll actually pull them back a little bit and then make sure that my ends are pretty close to even, and then slide the rubber band back off. So you should have a long side and a short side. Your long side is going to be towards the head of the jig. Carefully slide this through there without poking yourself. Occasionally you'll poke a strand and tear it, and then this bait collar, or bait keeper, I'm sorry, will sometimes catch some of them, so you might snap a couple, but it's no big deal. So what I do is slide that through, just kind of wiggle it past, and then slide up, and then I'll pull these forward. See, there's one that broke, so I poked one of them. So now I have the rubber band on there, right where that collar is, and you can kind of spin it, get them how you want them before adding the wire. And then I'm taking this stainless steel wire. It's pretty soft. The 16Y044. It's off of Granger. So we're going to want a pretty decent sized chunk, maybe 7-8 inches long, maybe a little bit longer. You will waste a little bit of wire. Bend it in a U, and then we're going to want to slide that around just ahead of our rubber band. So it's just hard to see, but it's just above the rubber band, and we're going to want to wrap that fairly tight, keeping it off of the rubber band as much as possible, and making sure that we don't poke ourselves with that hook. So now it's wrapped around once. Now we can grab, I got my smooth jaw needle nose pliers. We're just going to grab a hold of that band and pull it back over that bait keeper and back to the hook shank. So we'll leave it there for right now. And then we wrap this around a couple more times. making sure to keep the wire right where that collar is. And now it's on the bottom side of the jig. We will crisscross them, guys. Pull them somewhat tight. Grab my pliers again and twist it a couple times. I'll usually do about 3 times. And if you wrap them too tight, you can cut your strands. Okay? So now we'll cut that off. And those pieces go flying. Now what we'll do is we'll take that very sharp wire and we're just going to bend it back towards the head and flatten it. And I'm saying towards the head because the head is actually thicker, so it won't catch nothing on the bottom. And this way also when you're sliding soft plastics and stuff on there, you're not stabbing them ends into your finger. Now we'll cut these tab ends off of here, making sure that you cut them ahead of where they're connected, because if you cut them back out too far, a lot of your strands will be connected and they don't look as nice. Okay, now the back ones are trimmed. We can take our rubber band and slide it off the rest of the way, and be careful not to catch that back barb with your finger or the band. And now that rubber band can be reused on another one. Occasionally it does grab a couple strands and you'll break a couple, and you know, so there's a few of them broke and I just dropped it on the floor. But this is one way to add the stainless steel wire tie that, well, not everybody wants stainless steel, but there's a lot of guys that just want the wire tie jigs now because honestly they hold up better, so they're a little bit more desirable because they last longer. Okay, now we can let her all hang back, and if you want to trim it up a little bit you can. I think that looks pretty darn good the way it is. Okay, now we'll add that fiber weed guard. I'm going to use my Loctite super glue. It's the Ultra Control. And I just take a dab. The smaller the amount, the better, because it won't have enough to wick back up. Slide your fiber weed guard in here. I'm using a green pumpkin to match everything else. This is an 1/8 inch fiber weed guard. So now that's in there. We'll let that glue cure all the way. And there you have it. A nice stainless steel wire tied jig. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends. And give the video a like. Thank you all. Tight lines.